Stress really sucks, don't you think? Well, today I want to talk about how to stop and win against stress, anxiety, and being overwhelmed. So let me start by asking you, are you feeling completely overwhelmed by life as of this moment that you're listening to this? Or maybe has it been overwhelming overall in the past few months for you in your life? There's just too much stress and anxiety that is going on in our lives, especially in this day of COVID-19. So being overwhelmed is becoming a norm for people to becoming, overwhelmed, which is really, really sad. I don't know about you, but I know that I would prefer to take charge and do something rather than to let worry and overwhelm become daily visitors in my life. That's why today I want to introduce you to a few practical solutions that will hopefully help you when you are experiencing stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. Sometimes when you're feeling overwhelmed by life, you know exactly what the problem is, right? For example, let's say you have your spouse who's unsupportive and too many responsibilities just land on your feet and you are responsible for them. Maybe sometimes you're just struggling with complicated grief after losing loved ones, being separated, divorced, or even in the midst of divorcing or transitioning in life. Your boss might be somebody that is really not likable at all and doesn't even appreciate anything that you're doing at work. You doubt your skills and intelligence and self-worth, and then that becomes a lack of self-confidence that just brings problem after problem in your life. Sometimes money problems becomes, so overwhelming, and then we become scared to death. Sometimes you have the wrong belief that you are a failure and feel completely stuck in your life and just don't know where to go next or what to do next. Or maybe you have children at this point and you're worried about your children, whether they're still in your home or maybe even as adults, that they're not doing what you deem to be something that is worthy of their lives. And then as a parent, you just worry about those things. So can you relate to some of those stresses that many people just go through on a day-to-day basis? I want to encourage you to literally write down what are those things that make you overwhelmed, because that's the beginning of taking that next step of dealing with being overwhelmed. Sometimes when you feel overwhelmed by life, the problem is that you are facing many of the issues that I just listed and more. You could manage and handle all those, things by even focusing on one thing at a time. So before you berate yourself or continue to just put yourself down, start understanding and believing that once you can identify what it is that's stressing you or overwhelming you in life, there are ways that you can manage them. That always brings hope to people when they know that there's a way that I can completely take care of myself and take care of these things. So self-care and self-love are needed right now. And when I started off this year, 2021, I started saying to people, make self-care a priority. Make self-love a priority. Am I being in love with myself? Am I taking care of myself with everything that you do? Ask yourself those two questions. Because if you're not feeling good, if you're not feeling better, then that means you're not taking care of yourself. It's not about the situation that's happening to you. It's how you respond to the situation. Remember now, we have the 2 R's. We either react or we respond. So in every situation, ask yourself, am I responding or am I reacting? When you're reacting, it doesn't feel good. You're upset. You can't sleep. You can't eat. Everything just seems to be too much for you because you're reacting. When you're responding, you're more calm. You are able to choose those things that you can handle. You're able to let go of those things that you can't handle. You're able to prioritize the things that you can do in the moment or in the day. So responding is always something that we want to be able to do. And in the upcoming audios, you'll hear me reminding you, are you responding? Are you reacting to life? So here are some tips that might work for you. Exercise your cares away. Are you doing yoga? Are you exercising? Do you run? Do you walk? So even if it's raining outside, you can always lift weights in the inside. You can always stretch and do yoga in the inside. So there's always a time and place and an opportunity for you to exercise your body and your mind. It really helps tremendously if you can make it a priority to exercise no matter what. I walk every morning. I happen to be in Orlando, Florida, which is beautiful weather, and that's the reason why I love it here, because I can walk in the morning and the birds are still, like waking up and just, chirping, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful sound to hear the birds. I walk by the water, by the pond, and I see the water is so calm and just relaxing. Sometimes I've got my music on. Many a time I just want to hear nature, and I don't have any, iPods on or any music on. I just, want to be surreal. So I try to walk at least 30 minutes to an hour every day. So the other thing is, stop multitasking, because you're not good at everything, right? It turns out nobody is. I'm not. It took me a long time to realize that, multitasking is actually more stressful, for me. It puts me into a difficult position where I'm trying to juggle everything and try to make everything work out and be perfect. But no, we can't, right? Have you ever had, let me do this. Have you ever had someone on speakerphone whilst you're trying to check your email, you're preparing dinner and hoping, your husband or the kids, cannot disturb you or come around and just say something that will just take you away, but you're trying to focus everything at one time? Have you ever, done that and then hear the person on the other phone say, "Hey, what are you doing?" I tried that, right? And then when they ask me that, I realized that, my focus is not on there, because then I'm checking on the email, I'm reading what this email is saying, and then my pot is boiling over there. Then I've got you on the phone and they go, "What are you doing?" And that's a reminder to all of us. We cannot juggle it and we can't do it all. So do yourself a favor, give up on the notion that you can do it all at once. Okay, schedule time for each task. Give yourself total attention, that you can focus on one thing at a time and do it well, relaxed, and not anxious about doing it. The third thing I want to share with you is set priorities and manage your time. So here's a secret that most people won't admit, that they like perfection. I worked with people that were perfectionists, and I could swear that, why would you do that to yourself? And I didn't realize that I'm one of them that likes, things to be perfect. I just like things done well. When I do things, I like to do things well. So once I realized that, I said, okay, I need to also prioritize and manage my time so that I'm not overwhelmed. So there's so much on the plate that is, impossible to do on a day-to-day basis. When you look at it, you can't do everything at one time. But once you start to pace yourself, you actually start to get more energetic and you start to complete more tasks. Once you do that, try it out. It's really, really, good, a good habit that you can, practice. So talking about to-do list, let me tell you about our next self-care and success workshop for women, May 15th, 2021 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be talking about how to turn your passion into cash. Everybody is doing what they love and enjoying their talent and gift. And guess what? They are also being compensated for that talent and gift. But for many people, it's not an easy thing to do. They're still asking, how do I do that? How can I turn my passion into cash? How can I start selling what I know and what I'm doing? That's why I want to do that workshop with all of you. So join me on May 15th, 11 to 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to be recorded. So if you join in and something happens, don't worry, don't panic. I will be recording it, so you will definitely have an opportunity to watch it over, once it's done. And then if you are a member of the Empowerment Academy, which is, for women, that presentation is free to you, and also you can watch it for free. So there are all these benefits that I want to encourage you to go on my website, www.drstemi.com. In the comments section of this video, you also have those links for you to go onto my website. The other thing I want to remind you when you're dealing with being overwhelmed and stressed, commit to taking on less. Don't take more than you can chew. Don't bite on more than you can chew, right? Because then you are left completely overwhelmed when you say yes instead of saying no. And you don't want to put yourself in that position. If it feels like it's too much, then it's okay for you to say no. It's okay for you to put it off until the next day if it's not an urgent, emergent thing that you need to do. Reach out to those people that can help you out and give yourself some tender, loving care. TLC, you deserve it. You need to allow yourself that me time that will allow you for that TLC time. Self-care is a very personal thing, because what it brings is relaxation. It brings a calm mind, a peaceful mind. It brings you more opportunities to really see what's inside of you and to do what makes you laugh and relax and enjoy other people and enjoy sharing the gift that is within you. So I want to encourage you this week to really take note of those things that you're doing towards taking care of yourself. Finally, make sure you create a loving relationship with yourself. Life is far, far, far too short to be self-critical and too precious to be wasted or worried about what other people say about you. How will you make each moment of this one precious life you have matter and count? This is Dr. STEM. Don't forget to visit me at www.drstemi.com. Be encouraged.